So here you go now. Let's try to recollect what we were discussing yesterday. Recording is being started and you guys can be on mute. ఏంటి ఇంకా అందువల్ల కనెక్ట్ అవ్వాలి 12 కంటే 12 కనెక్ట్ అవ్వరా ఏంటి 12:10 కనిపెట్టారు 12:10 ఎందుకు 10 minutes ముందు మీటింగ్ లింక్ ఓపెన్ అయిందంటే 12:10 కనిపెట్టాడు అంటే రోజు 15 minutes ముందే ఓపెన్ చేస్తా కదా 10 minutes ముందు ఓపెన్ చేస్తే ఈరోజు 15 minutes కాదని పెడితే 12:10కి పెట్టాడా ఓకే సరే వెయిట్ చేస్తాను అయితే 12:10 అని పెట్టారా ఓకే did you received a message 12:10 right, so I will wait then. I told him I'll open meeting 10 minutes before, almost 10 to 5 minutes before. He mentioned like 12:10 na? Okay then. Okay, you relax for a while then. We'll start. మీరు ట్రై చేస్తున్నారా ఈలో చెప్పండి ఫ్రెషర్స్ బయట ట్రై చేస్తున్నారా జాబులకి ఎక్కడ అప్లై చేస్తున్నారు ఫస్ట్ నౌకరీలో అప్లై చేశారా ఫస్ట్ నౌకరీ ఉంటుందని తెలుసా మీకు ఫస్ట్ నౌకరీలో అప్లై చేశారా తెలుసా మీకు ఫస్ట్ నౌకరీ అని అప్లై చేశారా అక్కడ ఓన్లీ ఫ్రెషర్స్ కి ఉంటాయి అది జనరల్ గా చిన్న జాబ్స్ నుంచి పెద్ద జాబ్స్ వరకు అన్ని ఉంటాయి ఆన్లైన్ లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు సో ఎవ్రీవన్ హూ ఇస్ దేర్ ఆన్లైన్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ at 12:10 because admin team they have sent you a message saying it is going to start at 12:10, so that's a mistake from our end saying 12:10. So tell me okay, only Naukri you are trying or LinkedIn also? I think LinkedIn you will not get that much. Monster is no more. Huh? They changed your name. Monster name they have changed it to Foundin. Anyhow, just now, as long as Naukri is there in the market, no one can come. నిన్నటి క్లాస్ ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యారా చెప్పండి సిస్టమ్ వేరియబుల్స్ కి యూజర్ వేరియబుల్స్ కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ సిస్టమ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ వేరియబుల్స్ అండ్ యూజర్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ వేరియబుల్స్ సిస్టమ్ వేరియబుల్స్ యాక్సెస్ చేయడం కాదు దట్స్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ రిలేటెడ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ వేరియబుల్స్ we have system environment and user. What is the difference between these two?
User variables are specific to user accounts.
User, what are the resources mentioned in user variables are accessible only to specific user account. The resources mentioned in system environment variables are accessible to all the logins of that particular entire machine. Okay, and what is difference between intranet and internet applications? Internet is public domain. Okay, intranet means private domain. Specific and within a network. Example is one lab. Okay, so within network if something is accessible then that is called intranet. So if it is available in public domain, internet. Then difference between standalone and distributed applications? Standalone is
an application installed on a specific one machine.
Standalone is runs on one machine, installed on machine, runs only on that machine. Storage, everything will be there on the same machine. If at all storage will be there, can be there, there's no problem. Database can be there, storage, file system or database system, some system can be there. Storage also on the same system, accessible only to that particular system. Distributed means installed on a server, accessible to All the other systems which are connected over the network. Network, when we say, either intranet or internet. Okay. Next, there are two types of programming languages. One is high level language, and the second one is low level language. High level programming languages are human readable, understandable, and humans can implement. Okay. And example are like this: Java, Python. All we can understand, we can read, we can write, all that. And next one is low level programming languages. Low level means that is understandable to the machines. Generally, that will be in zeros and ones binary format. Machine code, that is called as machine code. Okay. And that's what low level. So after that, just we have gone through Java installation. That is just you Google and download and install. Later on, you have to specify the path. Why you should specify the path? You don't know that. Technically, you don't know. I will tell you. Just simply to say, if my operating system has to access the resource, the Java related components, then path is required, execution, everything. Okay, but actual architectural design, I will tell you maybe after 20 days. If I can tell you now also, but what happens is you will feel like Java is difficult. Actually, that and all is not that much required. But if you are a Java developer, minimum you should know about all those things. Okay. So after Java installation, and we discussed about simple Java program. We have written a simple Java program. We have seen execution of Java program in two stages. How many stages are there? Two stages are there in Java program execution. One is compilation, and the second one is interpretation by the interpreter, where JVM involves actually. Okay, but we need to discuss about that JVM and all in detail, the architecture of this, how a Java program runs. Okay, so that we will start at 12:10. Okay, so because many other students have to connect, if we tell 12:10, they'll connect at 12:15. 12 o'clock class, 12:15 will be available. And what is the most widely being used IDE to develop Java programs? Generally, we come across Eclipse. Okay, even there are many other in the enterprise version they will use. Okay, and what is the syntax of class? If you want to write a class in Java, I did not tell you what is class, but I will tell you. Okay, class is what is, how do you define, as of now, how you can define a class? If you want to define a class, group of collection of functional components plus attributes. Collection of, చెప్పాను అది ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీకు ఈరోజు చెప్తాను. Today I will tell you. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know about the execution of program. That's why I have written Java program. అసలు ఎలా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. Then I will tell you about class encapsulation, object oriented programming concepts. Okay, we will discuss today just class and encapsulation, class and object. Those we will discuss today, and we can start programming once we are done with all this architectural development. Okay, so we can start now, right? Because they have sent you message.
The polymorphism.
Say, oh, yes, please.
So polymorphism and encapsulation both are different. Right?
I will tell you. See, we did not go there so far. I will tell you. Okay. So we'll go as usual. So this is the beginning of today's session. As they have sent you 12:10 session will begin. Okay, that's the mistake they have done. So let's start now and recollect just for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, yesterday we discussed about types of applications. So we know that we are going to use Java in order to develop some applications that may be standalone, internet, distributed, anything. So types of applications, by the way you access in the network, by the way you access the application over the network, there are two types: intranet and internet. Intranet means within one organizational network, generally speaking, within one organizational network, within one network system. Okay. Internet is very simple that we are accessing every day. That is public domain. Public domain. That is called internet applications. Facebook, YouTube, all those are internet application. If you access any organization application which will not be available outside as a public domain, that is called intranet application. And other categories, other types, like based on how many systems this application is being accessed. In that manner, the types of applications are standalone application and distributed application. Standalone application means the application which is installed on single machine, which is not connected to network, which is not connected to network. The application is accessible only within that particular system. It will not be accessible anywhere outside. And distributed means the application installed generally on a server which is connected to either intranet or internet. Okay, means this can be distributed. If you understand the meaning of distribution, general meaning, this is very easy to know about. Clear everyone? ఎందుకని ఈరోజు చాలా మంది రాలేదు? సినిమా రిలీజ్ అయిందా? ఎందుకేనా? Okay. Next we discussed about types of programming languages. There are two types of programming languages available: high level programming language and low level programming language. High level programming languages are user friendly, simply speaking, developer friendly. That means generally speaking, humans can read, humans can understand, learn and implement. Okay, that is high level. And low level programming languages are understandable to the machine. That will be in the format of zeros and ones, binary. That is understandable only to the machines can understand that. Okay, and that is low level programming language. Next, Java installation I told you, and environment variable path setup I told you, that is not needed to be repeated. But about the environment variables, we are discussing about, like, when environment variables, there are two types. One is user environment variables and the other one is system environment variables. System user environment variables means, first of all, what is environment variable? Which is going to mention the location of a resource. Suppose you install some product on your laptop, its location to be mentioned in the environment variable. User environment variable means that particular resource, what is been mentioned in user environment variable, will be accessible only to one user account on the system. Only to one user account on the system. System environment variable means entire laptop. You can understand. In my laptop, I can create 2 or more accounts, right? So in my entire laptop, I have 5 accounts. I have installed one software and I have mentioned its path in the system environment variables. Then any user login, he can access. You can tell me one example for user environment variable related resource. I told you yesterday. Gmail INE kaadu. That's related to one system. See, we will mention a product. We'll access one product on our laptop which is specific to user. I told you. What is that? It's very simple. Which folder will be accessible only to you? Desktop. What is that?
Desktop.
Your desktop is different from other user desktop which is created on the same laptop. 2 user accounts you create on same laptop. Place 1 or 2 folders in desktop, one user account one. Go there to user account, it will not be visible. I have shown you yesterday path also. That is actually, this concept is related to operating system. This is not related to Java, but as we have environment variable setting up in Java, I was telling all this. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about we have discussed about a simple Java program execution. As I am writing the program, I have told you about the syntax. How you write Java program: class name, and then body starts and ends with a curling brace, and attributes will be there, methods will be there. If I have to more precisely write, main will be there. What is that? main method will be there. If I have to write more precisely. So in the sense of methods, main is also included. Then no need to mention separately. If you're feeling like there are user defined methods and one main method is must, this way you have to define the syntax. Okay, this is more precise actually. So we have written a simple Java program, a program which is going to display a message on the command prompt, message on the command prompt or any other editor, whatever the editor you use. See, class and then class name, then main method I told you, right? In front of main method I have written public, static, void, and then main starts. What is method? What is public? What is static? What is main? What is void? All this you will be learning one after other slowly whenever we come across with the respect to topics. Access modifiers, static versus object variables, and methods concept, return values. So all that will cover all these 4 points. Okay, we will see later, not now. Okay, then I have written system.out.println some message, welcome to Java programming. And in order to execute this program, so actually one more point, when you write a program, you can use different editors. As of today, we are using Notepad as an editor. What is that we are using? Notepad as an editor we are using, Java batch 1. And when you write the program, you must save the Java program with an extension of file extension of .java. Suppose you write .text and try to execute, Java compiler cannot recognize that. Only .java extension files can be recognized by Java compiler in order to process further. Okay, so when you create a Java program, save that Java program with a .java file extension, and you saved with. Where are you going to save? In some folder in your laptop, somewhere you will save for sure. Now, in order to run this program, we have to use 2 commands. What are those commands? Java C, Java. In order to fully execute your program to generate output, you have to use 2 commands, Java C and Java. Java C is Java compiler and Java is interpreter. Java is interpreter. Okay. Now, there are 2 phases of execution. Did I mention that here? I think I just generally told you. There are 2 phases of executing Java program. What are the 2 phases? First one is compilation, and the second one is interpretation. Okay, interpreting. Okay, these are the 2 stages. What happens at compilation? What happens at interpretation? We will be learning today itself in detail. Okay, so in order to compile, we use a command Java C. In order to interpret, we use a command called Java. Now, see, in order to execute Java program, okay, you need to open command prompt and point the command prompt to the same location where .java file is saved. So in order to open the command prompt and point it to the same location where your file is saved, there are 2 ways. Open command prompt cd, change directory, and come to this directory. One more simple way is go to the directory where you have saved file and type cmd. Type what? Cmd, and then open. Okay. And here
Can
you
you
go.
repeat once? Sir, can you repeat once?
I will repeat this once again. See.
Okay.
In order to, okay, you need to open, generally you know how to open command prompt. Okay, you can go to search bar here in Windows and type cmd. When your command prompt opens, please. When your command prompt opens, it is going to generally point to your user account. You have to change this directory to the place where you have saved the Java files. For that, you have to write the command cd d:// something like this. But instead of this, the more simple way is go to the location directory where you have saved your Java file and type cmd. You type it. Okay, it will point to that location. Okay, no need to write commands and all.
Okay.
Now I can execute the Java program. It was been told yesterday also. In the yesterday video, it is available. Java C is the command to compile the Java program. First phase is compilation. My first program dot Java. My first program dot Java, and then click on enter. You did not see any messages in between. If you see some error, one error, two errors like that, that means there is a problem, okay, with your program. It is not compiled successfully. See, when you are writing, constructing Java programs, you need to follow certain rules. You will be learning slowly all those rules. Okay, construction rules will be there, program construction rules. Now, after successful compilation, what happens is it is going to generate one file called dot class file. Same name. The file name my first program dot Java, exact name my first program dot class. If you open this file and see, this is byte code. What is this? Byte code. It is not understandable to humans. At the same time, it is not understandable to machine. Machine also cannot understand, and humans also cannot understand. We can understand this Java file. Machine can understand machine level language, zeros and ones. Intermediate some code is generating, which we are calling as byte code. Byte code. Okay. Now, after you do this, next you are going to write a command Java. What is the next command? Java. Interpret the program now in order to run it. When you do this, it is going to generate the output. It is going to generate the output. So what happens during compilation? What happens during interpretation? That's what I am going to tell you now. So this is the beginning of the session. This is what been discussed yesterday. I'll open one diagram and explain you in detail. Okay. Everyone follow, please. So I have drawn one diagram. I'll show you. See here. Look at this diagram. See, Java program execution process. Okay, even we can go more in depth. There's a big diagram and all, but this is a high level diagram which is actually needed for every developer to understand easily. See, you are going to write Java program and save this Java program with some name dot Java. Some name dot Java. Then what are you going to do? You open command prompt or any other editor and use the command Java C. Everyone following, right? Use the command Java C. Java C invokes Java compiler. Java C invokes what? Java compiler. Java compiler means hardware or software. That's one program. You installed Java JDK product, right? With that Java compiler program, JVM, JRE, everything has been installed. All are software products. All are software products. Those works together actually. Okay. Please mute online person. Please, you should always be on mute. Not getting in trouble that your voice is not audible to me continuously. Please reconnect if my voice is not audible. Please reconnect. It should be audible to every one of you. Please reconnect if it is not clear. Check the mic and speaker and everything from your network connection also. Okay, my side everything is good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. And here you go now. See now. So when you say Java C, in order to execute the, in order to compile the Java program, then this .java file will be submitted to the Java compiler software. Compiler software can understand. Compiler software can understand this English language program. It will translate that program. It will translate that program into byte code and generates a .class file. Compiler is going to load the Java program, compiles the Java program, and then it is going to generate .class file. Apart from this, what else will happen during compilation phase? Apart from this, what else will happen? Mundugrand, come forward. Second row, first row. Okay. During the compilation phase, apart from generating the .class file, what will happen? See, compilation begins, correct? Okay, I will do one thing. I'll write. Okay, I'll explain in detail now. Compilation process like this. Just one point about compilation. So compilation, what happens? Compiling begins. Okay, compilation begins and compilation steps will get executed. This is also one program. Compilation is a compiler is a software which will be compiling your program. Means compiler is also one program which executes your program. Understand? So compilation steps will be there, n number of steps will be there, and finally what happens? Compilation ends. Successfully compiled. On successful compilation, what will happen? Dot class file gets generated. Dot class file gets generated. Understand? Suppose what if compilation fails? First question. Dot class file will not be generated. Clear. But in what situation compilation fails? That means what happens during compilation? So you cannot understand everything, but I can tell you this way. During compilation steps, okay, during compilation process, it checks for which type of errors? Syntax errors. Even more than that is there, but I'm writing syntax for your ease of understanding in a normal language. Developer followed construction. Okay, developer followed programming construction rules or not. He followed or not? He did not follow, error. He followed, okay, proceed forward. Okay, so that's what generally at a high level I am saying this. During the compilation process, it checks syntax errors. If you don't understand what is syntax and all, you can understand like this. Okay, developer should follow some construction rules of Java programming. He did not follow, and it is throwing error message. Okay, that's what happens. Okay, but in detail about compilation and interpretation, I will tell you. Today only we will discuss all that. Okay, after dot class file is generated, coming back to the diagram, after dot class file is generated, this will be submitted to the Java virtual machine. What is that? Java virtual machine translates Java bytecode into machine understandable code. Bytecode to machine. So this has been converted into bytecode by compiler. Then when you are going to interpret, use the command Java, then this bytecode will be submitted to the Java virtual machine. Virtual machine translates or converts bytecode into machine code so that your operating system can process and generate the output. So it will be submitted to operating system machine code. Operating system will display the data in normal format, user readable format. From machine, operating system will convert into normal format. Understand? That's not needed to be written, because you know that everything, whatever you are creating a folder, the system will understand in machine language. But for you, you right click, create new folder. That is user readable. Okay, machine cannot understand what is new create folder and all. For that, internally it will generate machine code in your. So same concept wherever you go. So whenever you are going to write a Java program and save with .java extension and then compile it, the moment you compile, Java compiler is going to take that file and converts into bytecode. Meanwhile, it checks for syntax errors and other errors, whether the developer has followed programming construction rules of Java or not. Followed everything fine, it will generate a bytecode with an extension of .class file. Okay, done. Then when you are going to interpret by using the command Java, then this particular bytecode will be submitted to JVM called as Java virtual machine, which is going to load this bytecode and convert into machine understandable operating system machine understandable format. Processor will process that and it will display the results and all in the OS. Clear, everyone? So next you see here. See, we need to discuss about few other terms today. That is, what are those? Compiler interpreter, I'll tell you. Okay, Java compiler, what does it do? Java interpreter, what is it going to do? Okay, what is meant by compilation? what is meant by interpretation, what happens during compilation process and what happens during interpretation process. Okay, see, whenever we are going to compile the Java program, when we compile it, so compiler is going to execute entire program. Instead of execute, I'll say process entire program at a time. Entire program will be processed at a time to check for correctness. In a general language I'm writing. Suppose if you have a program with 10 lines of code, Now let's imagine that, consider 4 errors are there. 4 errors are there. You know that 4 errors, 4 mistakes are there. You know, if everything is combined, how many errors it has to show? 4 errors it has to show. So compiler will display all 4 errors, because what is the reason? Entire program has been evaluated. Simply speaking, evaluated or processed. Entire program is evaluated at a time. Compiler evaluates 100 lines, 1000 lines. Entire program, everything it will load, and after compiling everything, after processing everything for its correctness and all, then it is going to show all error messages. Okay, everyone clear? Next, what is that interpreter is going to do? Interpreter is going to process or execute line by line. Actually, compiler also execute line by line only. Line by line only in the sense 100 lines are there. First line execute, second line execute, third line execute, right? That's how it should proceed. After all 100 executed, it will show all errors. Interpreter is also going to go by line, means it is also going to execute one by one, but it may not be loading entire program. Okay, line by line. When there is an error, then interpreter, what happens? Stops the execution, and throws error message. Imagine if there is a program, intentionally there are 4 errors you have kept at line 2, line 5, line 8, line 9. So how many errors will be displayed when it is been interpreted? Only 1. After you correct the first one, and then the next error will come. But the same if you are going to compile by compiler, then all errors will be displayed. Okay, I think all of you might be knowing about this, right? But there are people who do not know all these things. Suppose if you take a program, this is one program. Okay, so we have multiple lines of code. Okay, line 1. Okay, not this, I will use line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, and line 6. This is how you have one program. Okay, so Java program. Okay, so now compilation phase, what will happen? So during the compilation phase, all lines will get executed. What happens? This is compilation process. Okay, all lines gets executed, then all errors found will be displayed. Okay, clear everyone? Everything will get executed. Now what about interpreter? If it is interpreter, okay, see here. From here, interpreter will go to first line. It went to first line. Okay, for example, let's say successfully executed. What do you say? Successfully executed first line. Okay, then interpreter will now go to second line. So in the second line, let's say error encountered. Okay, error encountered. What happens now? Control will be back. Control will be back. I mean, like, that is also one execution, that is also one software, right? Control will be back in the sense, not in our program. Like, okay. So comes out of execution and displays one error. You can say this if I ask you, how many errors an interpreter will display a maximum number? How many maximum? Maximum always one. But what about compiler? How many maximum it can display? Depends on how many mistakes we have made.
N
Okay.
number of.
Interpreter always will show a maximum of only one error. Compiler, n number possible. Okay. I will share this diagram. Compiler versus interpreter. Okay, so let me say this. So this is the difference between compiler and interpreter. Compilation process and generally compiler interpreter. Definitely they may ask this question. Okay. This is being documented in detail. There is a document available in that compiler. I think yesterday document itself has this. Maybe you check, and otherwise I'll share today. Next, we are going to understand about JVM. You already know about JVM. What is the task that a JVM is going to do? It converts the byte code into machine code. What is the task the compiler will do? Program Java program
our user
byte code. Okay. See,
byte code.
you need to understand one thing, that the Java software which you have installed, right? That is also one software product written as n number of programs collectively. Java software is also a collection of programs only. Okay. All the programs will be there in libraries. How these libraries will be useful? Okay, let me tell you about Java library. Little bit about Java library. Okay, Java libraries. Okay, first, what is meant by library? Library is collection of programming components. Collection of programming components. When you say programming components, you understand, right? Okay, and see, Java, I should say predefined libraries. Predefined libraries. Okay, so Java predefined libraries. Okay, I don't want to write everything all the time. Java predefined libraries contains the predefined programs. For what purpose? What is the purpose? Any guess? What is the purpose of these predefined programs?
For reuse to create any software.
To execute, to construct. I'll say to construct or execute also. To construct and execute what? Programs that are being written by us developers. So to construct or execute user defined programs. That means ultimately your program is getting executed by another program. Your program will be loaded into another program for execution. That program will run. One program is compiler, another program is interpreter. There is a JVM, Java virtual machine, which is also program. Everyone clear? So now, what is this bytecode generated here? Let's go and see that. See why Java is coming up with one intermediate code in between. See, directly it can convert from this format. What is that? English language, like high level programming language. From Java program format, directly it can convert into operating system format. No, why these many levels? See, anyhow everything is being done by Java only, right? Finally, ultimately machine code is being generated by Java. why this stage in between? It can go ahead and generate from English language program to directly machine code done. Output you will get. Why should you go ahead with in between byte code? Correct. Correct. I'll tell you. See, this bytecode is being executable by JVM, right? Now you see here. Okay. This is the final point about JVM and all. You know, this is one of the features of Java. We discussed already, but we did not discuss in detail. Now you're getting the details of it. See, you have your operating system, right? This is operating system. On operating system, what did you install? Java means Java Development Kit. What did you install? Java Development Kit you installed. See, and this is operating system for your information. Operating system. So this has, what is the code here? Machine code. What is the code? Machine code. Okay. Now Java Development Kit has something called Java compiler. What is that? Java compiler. Java compiler is there in, when you install Java compiler is installed. Okay. Apart from that, what else we have? I'm sorry. Yes, I need more space actually. That's okay. I'll write it simply like JVM you told. And what else you told? Libraries are there. What else is there? Libraries. Okay. JVM is there and libraries are there. Okay. And what about this one? GRE. Okay, I'll tell you. Java runtime. I'll explain it. Okay. Now compiler is going to compile and generate the byte code that will be handed over to JVM. Okay. Compiler is going to hand over byte code to JVM. JVM is going to do what? From here, JVM is going to give machine code. Give what? Machine code to whom? To operating system. To operating system, it will supply machine code. Machine code can be processed by operating system. Why this routing? Why you should route this way? You can directly compiler itself can give, no? Okay. See, for this, you need to understand one thing, that JVM is a software product, right? See, the machine code generated by JVM is understandable only to this operating system. For example, I'll take this machine code which is generated on my system and try to run on Mac operating system. It won't run. Okay, because that is not understandable to my machine language, is not understandable to another machine. Okay, that is specifically generated here. Okay, but if I want to run Java program, then suppose let's understand like Java program directly giving machine code. Machine code anyhow I cannot take to another machine, that won't work out. Java program, if I have to take there, again I'm writing program, right? Second time I'm writing program on some other operating system. That means your program is being platform dependent. This machine code is platform related. Your program is directly generating machine code means for every time when you take it to new machine, you have to copy paste and you have to execute, it will generate. Yes or no? Okay. So that means it is platform dependent. That is platform dependent, but I want platform independent. Okay. Java compiler generates bytecode which is understandable to JVM, which is a software product, comes along with Java JDK, Java Development Kit. Now you take another operating system, another machine, install JVM, and here it is generating .class file, right? You don't take Java program. You don't take Java program to second machine, just to take .class file and then give it to JVM of another machine. That JVM will generate second machine related machine code. Understand? You created only one time. The program you have created, written only once, but you are running everywhere. How you are running everywhere? Everywhere means not every machine. The machine which contains JVM. See, again, JVM for Windows is different. JVM for Linux is different. JVM is for Mac is different, and other things are different. A little bit of changes, compatibility, they will write that. We don't need to much bother about. Wherever you have Java virtual machine running, whatever the operating system on which JVM is running, just after you write the Java program, don't share your Java program to someone else while you are selling. Keep your Java program with you while selling your product. Only take .class file and sell them. They cannot copy your code, right? They will take the .class file and run it on JVM. They will get our product access. You understand? Why this way? See, if I am going to give Java program to every person, whoever is asking me, my program is exposed. They will copy and they will improve it, correct? And they will sell as a new product after copying. Instead of that, just conceal your program. Okay, keep it with you. Okay, generate only .class file and tell them that purchase JVM and install on your system. I'll give you class file. You'll get my product, my Java product running on your machine. Understand, everyone? So now this particular .class file, when you run on another machine JVM, it will generate machine code related to that particular machine. Clear, everyone? This will give a huge advantage to the business where your program need not to be exposed. The program need not to be exposed. Every time you don't need to take your program here and there everywhere and run and then come back. Openly you can give your .class file. They cannot do anything with that except running and using it. Okay, so this is called as Java is platform independent. Java is independent. Java is platform independent for this reason only. Only you write the program once. In order to run anywhere else, don't take the program. Take a copy of the program as .class file. Okay, that's a security for your code. Okay, no one can copy your code. Understand? So JVM can process. So this is the main advantage of Java. That's why you call platform independent. So out of the features, 8 features that we have just outlined, 1 feature you are clear now. Like this, all features will be sorted out going forward. Clear, everyone? That's why I told you never by heart those features. When you go through this concept, you don't need to read back that feature once again. Understand? Everyone clear? Online students, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You cannot decode unless you have the decoder. Okay, software. No one will sell that to you. Only Java has to sell. Okay, you cannot decode it directly. Okay, next. Java predefined libraries. I told you this will be used while constructing as well as in order to construct that library related information you need, and execution also it is going to use the library related information. Then compiler, interpreter, I told you JVM, Java libraries. Now JDK, we discussed about JDK is combination of Java development kit. JDK stands for, means entire Java product, whatever you have, Java compiler, JVM and libraries. Okay, here JVM plus libraries which will work together. I mean, like libraries will be taken by JVM at runtime and utilize it for execution process. This process is called, these two together is called as JRE, Java runtime environment. Java runtime environment means while you are running to convert into machine, it is going to use some predefined components from Java. Okay, so who is going to convert your program into machine level finally? Bytecode will be converted to machine level by JVM. At the time of doing that, it is going to use Java libraries to understand the program. See, a simple program we have already written. What is the program we have written? Yesterday. Oh, I think not this. This is the one. Java batch one. Sorry. Simple program. See, what is system here? You don't know actually. This is a predefined class. Where is it available? In the Java libraries. Your writing system, how this Java compiler, all this can understand, because at the time of running, it will link that predefined library programs. That and all I have to explain you diagrammatically. It will take time. Okay. Don't be hurry on knowing about all these things on the same day. You will get confused with so many predefined things and all. Okay, so we'll slowly learn one by one. Okay, so next here you go. So JDK, JRE, JVM. JVM plus Java libraries together is JRE, and JDK is the overall Java development environment, and JVM is virtual machine which will convert bytecode to machine. Everyone clear? So now I am going to explain you object oriented programming concept. Otherwise, are we going to write a simple program? What we write a plus b, b plus c? That's not required. We will do it anyhow, but we will be learning about the other things like OOPS. What is that? OOPS. I will tell you about OOPS, variables, all that, data types. So for getting the hands-on programming, you need to wait for 2 more days. Okay. Maybe I think you are so much excited to write the programs, but you have to wait to know about everything before you proceed to have hands. Okay. నీకు నిద్ర వస్తుందా? ఇంత పెద్దగా అరిచి చెప్తున్నా నీకు నిద్ర వస్తుందా? నా సౌండ్ కి నేనే మెలుకు కోసానే.
Before we move to with respect to feature, Java feature, the same bytecode will be portable.
Portable.
We can discuss that.
Portable means that's what platform independent. Portable means you write one place, don't take your code, only take the byte code, and it will run on any other JVM. Wherever it has JVM installed, there you can write. That's, you call it as another terminology, portable. Okay, platform independent. Okay. See, OOPS. What is the abbreviation of OOPS?
Object oriented program.
Oriented programming language.
Object oriented programming. Object oriented programming language. What is that S then? S and enti. What is that S? Programming. Last one, no one is reading it. Okay, object oriented programming system. Okay, so we need to discuss about the features. This is a concept. What is this one? Java is a programming language. OOPS is a concept. Java is developed based on OOPS concept. Java is developed based on OOPS concept. Then OOPS is developed based on, OOPS is not a language. So you understand what I meant by concept, right? I gave you one concept, you have made a movie. Okay, you understand now? I think you'll understand better this. Okay, concept is something which explains the way how the things should be. Okay, understand? Concept explains how the way how the things should be. Then taking the concept, you make the thing, right? Taking OOPS concept, Java has been made. Okay, clear? OOPS is a concept. Simply I am writing some concept and like a story and giving it to you, or making a movie. Your movie is Java here, okay, which will be played, and the concept is the story. From the story, this has been made. Clear everyone? Movie has been made. Correct? Same way, object oriented programming system, you need to understand that this is a concept. Means everything that is there in object oriented programming system will come to Java. Yes or no? Is it Java only implemented on this concept? Any programming language which has been implemented based on this concept is called as object oriented programming language. Okay, Java, C#, VB, what else? Python also there, C++, all these are object oriented programming. Why? All these programming languages have been developed following this concept. Following this concept, what is being told in the concept? What they will tell? It tells about the programming, the features a programming language should have. Means they are not going to apply to every programming language. If you want your programming language to be called as object oriented programming language, that language should be developed based on this concept. Okay, so OOPS is a concept which can be adopted by any programming language creators. Who are those? creators. So creators will take the story and make a movie, correct? Directors you call. So OOPS is a concept which can be adopted by any programming language creators and create their programming concepts or structures. Structure or concepts. Then if it is being developed based on OOPS concept, then that programming language is said to be object oriented programming language. What are being told in this then? Okay, so this is what object oriented programming system. What is object and all you will be learning. Okay, you know what is program, you know what is system. Orientation, that's a concept turned into something else. That's what orientation. What is object, you'll be learning. Okay, now here you go. What are the object oriented programming concepts? Tell me. First one, encapsulation. Encapsulation. What else? Object will also be there definitely. Okay, that's part of it. It's an instance, actually it's a virtual thing. Okay, what is that? Polymorphism.
Inheritance.
Polymorphism. What else? Abstraction. Inheritance.
Data passing, data misplacing.
Not too many. Inheritance and then last one. Anything else is there? 4. Okay, we will discuss all, not only these, others also, but we will not discuss today itself. It means on a single stand we will not discuss. Only one we will discuss. We will be learning little bit more about it, and we will align this with our programming language. Then we start coding. Okay, few programs done. Then we will come to object, and we learn about object. After we learn about object, again object oriented way we will be working on some programs. Completed. Then we go with polymorphism, inheritance concepts one by one. Once this is been told, explained, then only practical. Okay, today itself I will not tell you everything. That will take a lot of time. It's a waste of time. Okay, first we go with encapsulation. Anyone can tell me what is encapsulation? If you can.
Wrapping up of data
Many
in
forms.
a single unit.
Wrapping up of data in a single unit. Okay, tell me an example of encapsulation. What you see in your life now? Hold on.
Sir,
Anything we
suppose
discuss,
we can say geometry.
you have to show me in the real world. Cheppandi. What is that?
Geometry box.
Class.
Geometry box.
Class, E-class. E-class. Okay, then that's okay. Okay, see, you can simply say a capsule. You know about a medicine capsule, right? A medicine capsule is, it contains, it's a combination of chemical composition, not one, maybe many different chemical compositions combined together, made as a capsule, which will produce some behavior, which we call it as output in this language, generally program. Tell me another example. Show me here itself. Why CPU? Why not laptop? Laptop. My laptop is an encapsulated unit structure where it has so many functional components grouped together. So encapsulation is its combination of attributes plus function. I will use general language, not too technical. Okay, functional, not like variables and then methods. I'll use the terminology later. Okay, so functional components, attributes plus functional components grouped together into a single unit structure. Into a single unit structure. I'm sorry, I have to write here. Okay, yes, into a single unit structure. This unit structure takes an input and process that. It will process it and do what? Generates an output behavior. an output behavior it is going to generate. It will have some behavior. Simply speaking, all this, it will produce some behavior. Understand? See, what is the example of encapsulation concept? You take your laptop. Laptop has so many functional components inside it. All the functional components grouped together into a single unit structure where CPU, motherboard, RAM, bus cables, and display parts, all this grouped together and in fact working together, producing some output behavior. Is it taking input from me or not? So when I give an instruction of create new folder, what will be the output? It will create a folder. The system will take it and create a folder, and the output generated will be creating a folder. So multiple functional components working together is encapsulation unit. I'll tell you another example. If you can imagine, it is very easy. Let's take an example of book making machine so that it will be pretty much clear to all of you. You know about book making machine behavior, right? What will be the output of this? I will write down more precisely. Notebook making machine. Can you tell me what is the output of this? Output is notebook, one or more. What is the input? Simply saying paper is the input, correct? And pins, something like that, you will be giving at different stages. Okay, let's go by high level. Paper you provide as input to notebook making machine. It is generating some output. What are the functional components in that? Function, first, paper you have to place somewhere on a rolling device, right? Okay, so a book making machine, functional components. Okay, first I'll write down input is equal to, as a material, raw paper you are giving, and the final output will be notebooks. Final output will be notebooks. Okay, clear everyone? And now what are the functional components of this? Identify. Attributes also I have to tell you. Okay, Chapan, what are the functional components? First one, say rolling device where you are going to place your paper, raw paper of big length. Done. Next one, sizing device. What is that? Size marking device will be there. Okay, and then cutting tool will be there. Cutting tool will be there. Next one, binding tool will be there. After that, dispenser will be there. Okay, it is going to dispense the notebook outside, throughout of the machine, right? All these are working together. Each functional component has actually its own behavior, but when you take out the functional component, there is no meaning. Okay, you take only cutting tool outside, it cannot give you the final output of book, correct? All these functional components working together to produce some specific output where it accepts some input. Okay, what are the attributes now? Try to think about it. Functional components you told. Okay, attributes also you'll be able to say for sure. Yes, tell me. Yes, attributes, correct. Okay, size of the book. What do you say? Size of the book, A4 book or 2x3 book, like this, many different sizes will be there. Okay, comma, what else? So am I going to get a number of books till paper gets completed? No, I will tell the system, give me only 100 books of A4 size. Okay, number of books, that is one more attribute. Anything else?
Number of pages also there.
Number of pages. Okay, no problem, let's take it. Number of pages. Okay, what else can be there? Color. This is not a printing machine, this is a notebook, white color. What else? That's pretty much fair enough. You identified 3, that's pretty much fair. What does these attributes do? You told about size of the book. Okay, I am writing without space. Size of the book is one attribute, number of books one attribute, number of pages one attribute, and these are the functional components. All mixing together is going to produce some output, correct? All these are being encapsulated into a single unit. You are calling it as book making machine. Understand? So that is what the meaning of encapsulation. In this world, everything is encapsulation. Human body, We are encapsulated unit. There are so many functional components, parts, all works together, right? We are going to have some behavior of like teaching, walking, all that, correct? Okay, so that's what you yourself as an encapsulation unit. That means from this you can tell me one thing. Oops is been derived from. Oops is been derived from human life. What are you? What is human life? From that they derived a concept called oops. That concept is being useful in the programming language. So we are the example of encapsulation, nothing else. We are the example of encapsulation. Any part you take out, no meaning. All working together, okay, as an encapsulation single unit, definitely it will produce some output behavior. That's what encapsulation. See, this encapsulation concept should be used in the programming language to be called as object-oriented programming language. They have implemented encapsulation in the programming language. They named it as class. They named it as what? Class. We are using that as a keyword. Okay, to say the Java product that we are constructing some program as an encapsulated unit. Okay, you are using the keyword called class. Class is equal to, yes or no? Class is equal to encapsulation, right? Class is a programming concept, programming feature which has been implemented by the concept of encapsulation. Means whatever is there in encapsulation, it will be applicable to class. What is the definition of class now? Can I say the same or not? Now Java class. Okay, this class is combination of attributes plus functional components grouped together into a single unit structure that is called as class. See, encapsulation definition is equal to class definition. There's no difference. You are calling it as class when it comes to programming language. You are calling it as encapsulation when it is generalized. Generally encapsulation. I am deriving that and I am implementing my own programming language where I have encapsulation concept. Then that I can name it as class or something else. Okay, anything I can say. I can even say that as a block in my programming language. My block, anything I can say. Okay, so but blocks are different in Java. Okay, so this particular class. Okay, I'll write down in another way. Class when executed accepts an input, comma, process it, generates output. So when constructing a class, programmer should follow below syntax. Once again, below syntax. Class name, you are there, you have a name or not? A car is there. Car is also encapsulated unit or not? What are the attributes of a car? Don't tell me color and all that everywhere you read. Huh? First you tell me one thing. What does an attribute do? You are saying size of the book is one attribute, right? What is it going to do? I will share you all of this, no worries. I will share you this class running notes. I will share you the class document which I have. I'll share you video also, no worries. But videos will be shared only when you are attending daily. Okay, I told you, right? Today we will be generating your student ID. We'll share you over the weekend. We need to take your attendance. We need to here you have to give your student ID in the meeting from Monday onwards. Okay. So yesterday we got offer letters to all 16 students. Okay, all 16 students have got offer letter, but that is not in Java, that is in Pega. Okay, all those are freshers with 4.5 lakhs package, Bangalore location. Okay,
Which
that
company,
is for
sir?
Pega, you don't need to bother about it. But the same way we want to work out for Java as well. That's why I'm struggling this much. Otherwise I don't need to take Java classes. Okay, I have already 5 batches every day, Pega itself. Okay, and I'm not doing it for money for now. We want to establish there actually at the companies.
Okay.
Yeah, what are the attribute? What does an attribute do? What do you think? So far, you understand. You said you understand attribute, right? Let's go in depth and see what is an attribute going to do. In a car, what is an attribute? I'll tell you attribute, then you tell me what an attribute is going to do. Gear number is there, right? You put at runtime, you're going to put the gear number. You supply gear number 1, 2, 3, 4. You can tell me now what actually an attribute is going to do.
It just instructs.
Gear number is equal to 1 means it holds a value. That's okay. Attribute holds data. Attributes hold data. Gear number of books holds 5 or 6 or 100. Okay. You want me to write that? I'll write down here. Attribute holds data values. Data value. Data value will hold gear number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You tell me overall class. Overall class is there, in that an attribute gear number is there that is holding a value either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Now, how this is going to impact the entire class? That's what I am trying to ask you. Input you are giving, what happens to the entire program, entire system? How to perform means it controls the behavior of the system. Yes, sir. That's why I told you car example. Attribute having value, what is it for the system? What is it for the class? You are giving attribute is there. You are giving value. Class is using it. What is it for the class? It controls. It controls the entire. So how this has to be taken forward will be decided by that attribute value. How many books should be produced by the machine will not be decided by the machine, by the attribute value. Attribute value controls the behavior of the machine, how it should behave finally. Okay, 100 you say number of books, 100 it will dispense, machine sit down. Who is telling the machine to produce 100 books? Attribute is telling that. Attribute is holding and giving to the machine, entire class. That is controlling the program execution. Okay, and functional components, what are these functional components? Functional components are the action elements. Those are action elements. Okay, we'll learn in depth like methods and all. We'll learn. Okay, so class name, because you want to construct a program as a unit structure, and thereafter attributes. You also call them as, generally you call it as variables. In technical terminology, what do you call? We'll be learning that. Okay, attributes, variables, and then methods. And importantly, main method should be there. Another interview question I was asking. Okay, yesterday I told you, I forgot to ask you in the revision. Is it possible to write a class without a main method? If they ask you in interview, what you should say?
No.
It is possible when? Now it is not possible. Today it is not possible with the latest versions. 6 and before? Till 6. Okay. Before that, it was 6 and before it was possible, but today it is not possible. Okay, main method must be there. Okay, that may be an interview question they may ask you just to know whether you gone through it or not. Okay, so if you are going to construct something, that should be constructed inside a class, that should be constructed as a class. Okay, and then what is a method here? What is a method? One or more methods will be there. What is a method here? Actually, main is also a method. Okay, methods are action blocks. Methods are what? Action blocks, which will perform something, which will implement something, which will implement, which will perform something. Performs something, it will perform as per your need. Method. Okay, and variables are attributes. Holds data values. Holds data values. What about main? Main. Java compiler starts executing the Java program, identifying the main method as starting point of program execution. See, if you are executing program, there should be some starting point, right? When you are drafting something, definitely you will start somewhere point 1, point 2, point 3 like that. But actually in a Java program, if you are writing 100 lines of code above main method, it will not start here. The program execution will begin where? Main after it will go everywhere else as per whatever you are calling. Understand? So that's how it is going to work. Okay. So this I will take out. Otherwise, to make better sense, I'm going to take out. Okay. So here, first one is attributes or variables. Second one, generally method. And third one is main method. What is main? Okay. Everyone clear? Online students. So far, everyone clear? It's already 1:15, I think. So are you going to come on Wednesday or Tuesday? August 15th. Will you be available or not?
Sir, we are available.
Available, sir.
If you are available, I'll take. Okay, I don't have any problem.
Your wish.
I will be available. Okay, because anyhow, Saturday, Sunday, generally there won't be any class. Okay, Monday to Friday. See, what you do is the last 3 days, whatever we discussed, you have to revise at least once on Saturday. If you're going to learn for 5 hours or 6 hours in a week, it will not take more than 1.5 hours for you to revise. If you finish everything on the same day, today 1 hour, you finished it. Tomorrow 1 hour, you finished on the same day. But if you don't revise on Saturday, you will forget everything by Monday. Okay. So sit back and revise on Saturday for sure. Sunday, you do whatever you want. Don't study. Okay. Spend your time, personal time.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
But Saturday you must revise because you don't ask me, sir, take a revision class and all. Okay. I have even so many other tasks to do on Saturdays. Anything else I should tell you today? So tomorrow, I mean, like in the next class, today is Friday, no? Okay, in the next class that is on Monday, I will be telling you about variables, okay, methods a little bit, and we'll write a program. We'll not use method right away. We'll use main method only, and variables we'll use, main method we'll use, and we'll write simple programs as a beginner for learning. Only after almost 85% to 90% we complete with examples, then only we will look into business requirements. Okay, see, it's not that you cannot implement business requirement using 1 or 2 concepts. When I give you a requirement, you learn 10 technical concepts. Out of these 10, 3 or 4 you have to take and implement that business requirement. So we cannot go ahead and do business requirement from day one. It is not possible in Java like other okay, for Java we cannot do from day one. So 2 months, right? At 1 month 10 days or 1 month 15 days, we can start looking into banking projects. Okay, till then you have to learn to understand the concepts. Okay, construction rules, concepts. When you learn everything, you will implement it. That time you should start imagining about user interface, business logic, database. 3 you imagine and we'll implement. But we'll implement it only 1 level. But we imagine all 3 levels, as I told you on day 1. Any doubts or any questions anyone has? So how do you feel? How is it going? You're comfortable with pace and everything?
It's really too good, sir.
నేను క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నా ఎదురుపోయినా ఒక్కడే నాకు తెలిసి. So you're able to understand, right? If you want me to slow down, I can slow down. I think I am repeating many times, right? If I slow down still something more, all of you will sleep, not only this guy. Comfortable, right? It's good, going good. Thank you. We'll create today. We will create IDs and you will be notified. Anyone is there who did not fill the form? Yesterday we have shared. Did you fill the form? Google form? All of you. ఈ రోజు వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు fill చేయలేదా? I'm sorry. Sir, any company using old version? See, there are companies using old versions of Java, but pretty less. There are companies. Java is everywhere in every company actually. See, I'll tell you what. Business as usual means, suppose you develop one application today, you need support, you have to correct a lot for 10 years, you need a lot of support. And after 10 years, what it becomes, business as usual. We call it as, means thereafter you will not get any errors and all, your application will settle down. 10 years back, any application has been settled down which has been implemented in Java, they must be in old version. They will not hire people too many resources, because if you create one product to correct all issues, bug fixes, defect fixes, everything, let's say this to sort out this laptop, if you take 10 years, after 10 years you don't need to do this many, you don't need those many employees. It will go as usual into the market. Okay, so one application if you develop, starting 3 to 4 years, so many bugs, so many issues, data issues and other issues, everything will come. So you need so many support people and all, apart from developers. Okay, health check, everything to be done. And like 5, 6 years, 10 years, once it is over, that application will go into the mode of business as usual, means it doesn't need any support people, only one is enough for big application. Generally that may happen. Business as usual applications are there for small businesses. Generally for some small businesses, they won't invest every time, they must be running in old versions. Okay, but whatever the version, you will be able to work on it. Okay, no problem. As far as you know, every Java class must have a main method starting from Java 7. Before that, it's not mandatory actually. Okay, yes, that is true today. Correct. Any other doubts? You're not getting any doubts? See, by the time you come Monday here, you should be in a position to say everything, not in detail, at least a high level. You should be able to have a understanding about all of this. How you are going to learn this? See, when you are reading all this, don't simply try to buy heart. It will be, it's a lot of text is there. Try to understand, imagine in the real world, and then gain the knowledge. Encapsulation, don't read like you are quickly saying the answer when I ask you. A unit structure which is comprising of attributes and methods, you are saying like that, definitions. But when you go through definition, the picture should be there in your mind in the reality. Reality picture is there, then you are learning technology aligning with the real world. That really makes sense. Then you can be a developer. Otherwise also you will be a developer, but you will be there with 15 lakhs package, maximum 20 lakhs, you will stop there itself. Okay, you cannot go beyond that. Okay, if you want to prove yourself as a techie, understand the technology in the real world where it is available, and then learn. Okay, I will mold you, no problem. I will mold you to change your thought process. Okay, I'll tell you. You follow me closely in every class, you'll be able to do it. So next class I'll be talking about this variables, methods, and we can start writing a method. I'll tell you variables, I'll tell you, and main method we are going to use, and we'll start writing simple programs initially, and thereafter we'll go with some technical concepts related to Java. Okay, data types, all that. So most of you have filled the form. I think most of you do not know what is Java, right? Before, how many of you already know about Java programming and all? Not most of you don't know Java.
I know it.
Some people knows about it, right? Don't know most of the people, I think they don't know about it. No problem. Okay, I'll go in this space. Okay, fine, you can wind up for today, and we will continue on Monday. But I request you to join sharp 12 o'clock. I think today my team has messaged you like saying 12:10. I told them 5 minutes or 10 minutes before I'll open the meeting. They have messaged you 10 minutes after we will open the meeting, like that. Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you, and enjoy your weekend. Revise tomorrow. Everything that is being done tomorrow, you revise. Okay, fine.